a special experience.
Have you ever been to a psychic?
We have psychics? It's funny you should ask because
So we'll move that conversation to the end.
Well, I was going to say, for a summary of the worries that everybody has, sounds like some of them.
About that's how we got on.
I was trying to get us circling back.
Why is that important?
Because it's so bland. I think.
What's bland? Not the
Taylor
just to
Swift.
clarify.
Taylor
Taylor Swift, all that.
I think
Taylor Swift?
I don't know about that.
She's going to be so upset.
I'm sorry.
Deb,
sorry.
can you call her? Because we didn't mean that.
I don't know how in the weeds we want to get, but sometimes they'll run the snakes to the guitars into the wrong jacks, and so I'm getting something over here that's supposed to be going, and it's all cattywampus and stuff. So the monitor, you can't go wrong with a front of house monitor.
Yeah, but of course that could be different than the house with the audio.
Also different, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Did you say cattywampus?
I think so.
Is that a word? Like I never heard that.
Well, of course, everybody knows it.
Let's do it. Sometimes we do a little therapy here. Can you give us a little dive into what worries you? What are you worried about?
Unlicensed therapy.
answering that question worries me.
Answering that question worries you?
I said answering that question worries me.
Well, yeah. Well, I think we can all share a worry that we have.
I'll go last.
Hey everybody, it's Alex from StageCraft, and I am just checking in with you. So we're going to do a little something different with the format for the next few episodes, at least the next 3 episodes, maybe beyond. If you want to give us some feedback on this new format, drop us an email, WERA stagecraft@gmail.com. That's WERA stagecraft@gmail.com. So what we're going to do is we're going to take clips from some of the episodes that we have recorded over the last few weeks, and we're going to mix them all up and present them in sort of a showcase format along with songs from the artists in a way that we think will, promote cross promotion. That sounds horrible the way I said that. Promote cross promotion, but get people forwarding things, listening to other bands that they might not have heard, or bands that they might have heard on the same bill. But the idea is that we're just trying to make a show that's a little bit more, agreeable, approachable, fun, exciting, different than what we've offered in the past. And also because, to be totally upfront, we've noticed a huge decline in the amount of listens, and we think we need to switch up the format to try some stuff out. So without any further ado, let's get to the first clip. This is the Broke Royals, and then I'll pop back in to let you know the name of the song that plays afterwards. Thanks so much for joining us, and let's get started. Broke Royals, say hello.
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 What are your names and what do you do in the band?
I am Rebecca, or Rebecca, whatever you'd like to call me.
Okay.
I am vocalist, keyboardist, and synthist of Broke Royals.
My name's Philip, and I am the singer and guitarist for Broke Royals, or one of the guitarists at least.
So you guys do harmonies and things like that?
We do. We try.
We do our best at them.
No, I mean, everybody tries. Yeah. You ought to hear some of the early Byrds harmonies. Some of them were rough.
Really?
Very, very rough.
Interesting.
I mean, harmonies have to be worked out.
Yeah.
You have to just sort of work on them over and over.
Yeah, we find even oftentimes, I'll think I have a great harmony, and then technically it does make sense, but then we'll listen back to recording, and then I'm like, what am I doing there? So we oftentimes rethink it after we do a little listen back.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's a lot of it is the finding the harmony in the moment when you've lost it. That's when things really start to go off the rails. You got to just commit to something and then do it. Whether it's working or not, it's better to just kind of stick it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Probably the worst things I've heard, well, not the worst things, but some things that are just sketchy, are people who don't commit to certain singing, the harmonies, backup vocals in one way or another that come out kind of, blast it.
Yeah.
Blast it.
Agreed.
Got to do it confidently.
You have to do it
Even wrong.
confidently. Absolutely. Confidence shows.
Yeah.
The people see that.
People see it.
fail spectacularly if you're going to fail.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but people
been our
don't
motto.
really think that you fail. I mean, you only fail if you really go off the rails.
Right. And even that, like, I mean, if you make a moment and it's memorable, right? Why not?
Right.
We were once
Harmonies, though, like
Yeah.
we joke, in terms of things that are very unforgiving when we're talking about stage performance, rhythm and harmony. Those are two things that audiences can pick up on that when when something's not quite right, right? So what do you do? Do you push through that when you're on stage? Like you were saying that like sometimes you just got to stick it?
I mean, ideally, we're a big powwow after the set type band. Like, let's debrief. Let's figure out what's going wrong. I'm a big believer in recording every set now. I used to be it used to be very hard for me to watch myself sing or watch us play. But now, exposure therapy, I've just every single set, not because I'm like really into it, but because I want to find the bumps and then say like, all right, let's pinpoint what's going wrong.
Yeah.
What could be improved, and let's get it better. Like watching tape for a sports game, because that
Totally, because we get sports.
We get sports. Yeah, we know all about them.
Yeah. We could name some.
Totally. Peyton Manning, he's probably still playing.
How about them skins?
How about them skins?
Commanders.
We like all the balls. All the balls
Oh,
and the goals.
all the
We throw them
courts,
up in the air. We throw them across the field. Kick them sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, it's
Hard.
helpful, like recording the sets too. We can be hard on ourselves sometimes.
Yeah.
So we'll be feeling badly about a set, and then we'll listen back to it, and we're like, oh, that's any of those blunders that maybe we had felt are almost entirely not noticeable for us.
Our drummer is a big audio tech. He runs a recording studio and a YouTube channel where he teaches mixing and recording all these things. So he's had us set up with an in-ear system for a few years. And basically what you're hearing is nothing like what's going out to the house. So I'm getting like the drums and rhythm guitar in my vocals, which is not going to set you up for like that's not really a pleasant experience. So exactly. So the video is like, oh, okay, wow, it actually sounded nice. It kind of came
Sounds
together
like a
in the house.
band.
But I'm kind of singing in the void in my ears.
Would you rather have a stage monitor?
I've gotten to the point where if the thing craps out on me, that is when things can go badly. So now I actually do have the monitor going anyways, and sometimes I'll have one ear out. I don't know how in the weeds we want to get, but sometimes they'll run the snakes to the guitars into the wrong jacks, and so I'm getting something over here that's supposed to be going, and it's all cattywampus and stuff. So the monitor, you can't go wrong with it with a front of house monitor.
But of course that could be different than the house with the body.
Also different, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Did you say cattywampus?
I think so.
Is that a word? Like I never heard that.
Well, of course, everybody knows
It's a
it.
fun one.
I use strictly 1950s diction.
Cattywampus?
No.
Well, maybe I'm just familiar.
I feel like I've heard it, but maybe it's just it feels so right.
Can we just stop for a moment? What does it mean? Cattywampus.
It's like when
all
things
over
are
the
going off the rails. Yeah, like things are
Chaos.
have
Beautiful
gone
word.
chaotically.
It's like something from Mad Men or
Isn't
something.
it delightful? I feel like I've definitely heard your grandmother say cattywampus.
Yeah,
Well, I think
we
yeah,
share
or
the
a
same
great-grandmother,
verbiage.
or-
Yeah.
I was going to guess it sounds a little old-fashioned.
Oh, yeah.
Cattywampus.
Oh yeah,
More
gonna go down
PC.
to we're gonna go down to the haberdashery. Yeah. There's gonna be some shenanigans going on.
Broke Royals, old fashioned premium rock and roll.
How would you so like do you remember record stores? Do you remember okay. So
time.
you would go to the record store. I'm super excited to pick up the new Broke Royals release.
Yeah.
What section am I going to pick up the Broke Royals release?
Well, shameless plug. You can go down to Birdland Records. They released our album on vinyl last year, and you can pick it out of the DC favorites, which I think is so funny. It's like Bad Brains, Fugazi, and us. Like, all right,
We'll take it.
Make
We'll
it.
take it. Yeah.
Good.
But probably just rock, pop rock, alternative rock, depending on how granular it gets. Indie rock, maybe.
Ooh, let's get granular.
Yeah.
Let's get granular. Why not?
We call it premium rock and roll.
Broke Royals, old fashioned premium rock and roll.
Yeah. You know, I think it's like we sort of started closer to like the 1975 as a studio project, and we've ended up somewhere closer to Tom Petty, and I don't know how that happened, but it was a slow, gradual shift. So we might be found in
Philip,
different
who wrote
parts of the
songs.
store, depending on who.
I have no idea how that happened.
Depending on what record you're looking for. But.
So it's mainly original music, totally original music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, we Rebecca and I will sometimes play at bars and wineries, other venues like that. We'll do a mix of covers and originals. But anytime the five of us are together as a band, it's all originals. So yeah, we have 3 albums out. It's like some singles. I think it's somewhere in the range of like 35 to 40 songs. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I've forgotten some of our songs, so that's how long we've been together.
No, and that happens. That happens. I mean, you just have so many that you forget some, or, like, how does this one go? Man.
Big time.
Yeah. Almost every practice, I feel that way.
Yeah. Right.
What's your favorite song or the one that's most requested?
Well, that would be very different, I think, probably. Right?
Yeah.
What is it, depending on the audience, you mean, or when you say different?
I think our first record had a real clear voice. I don't think it was a voice that we wanted to live in for the rest of our career, but we were like really lucky to find some really passionate fans. And there's a song called Higher that is probably still the most requested song from our catalog.
What is that song about?
It is about learning how to write a song. No, I'm just it is...
That's valid, though.
Yeah. It's a little
bit.
I mean, it's super metaphor heavy, just about I guess wanting to lend support but not smother someone. But it's like super old now, so it's like like 8 years old. So it's also like looking back on something that is kind of a different guy wrote it. It's like long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about how to lend support without smothering someone, and I was like, well, how do I lend support without like actually lending support? Is that something that I can do? I'm totally kidding. So when you say that it feels like, because I have a friend who's in a band, and he doesn't like to ever like all the songs that they write are pap. So they'll like write lyrics that are they're nonsensical. They're just trying to hit rhythm markers and melody markers. Because he's like, who the hell ever wants to like hear a song and be like, man, that's that breakup song that I wrote. You're not going to want to listen to that in 15 years, unless you made a lot of money, maybe.
Sure.
Right. But it's like, it's kind of hard. Like, who the hell, like, I bet Eric Clapton probably doesn't like jam into Tears in Heaven. It's probably
not.
Pretty fucking heavy, right?
Probably not.
So how do you feel about that? Like you say that you feel like a different person even wrote that song. What do you mean? Are you crazy?
But like, I think, well, certainly. I mean, anyone who...
There's a lot to unpack there.
Exactly.
Music for this long.
Whoa. That's 2 questions.
Anybody who wants to be on a stage.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was Rebecca, or Rebecca, if you will, and Philip of the Broke Royals. And next up, you're going to hear a tune from them. It's called Broke Royals... It's called Broke Royals Higher, and you can find it on Bandcamp. And then after that, I'm going to pop back in and tell you about the next clip that'll play. Thanks so much for joining us here on StageCraft.
You think you're gone, but you're not so low, yeah, you're not so far away. I've been the one when the money's spent and your head's under the I am again, a hotel bed in Colorado. I'm just waiting for your call, but it's not gonna come at all. Higher, higher, oh, I'll take you higher, higher, oh my love. Higher, higher, oh, I'll take you higher. Higher, oh my love. You're a push me away, girl, I'm not here to save you, and you don't need to explain. Here I am getting a hotel bed in Colorado. I'm still waiting for your call, but it's not gonna come at all. Higher, higher, oh, I'll take you higher, higher, oh my love. Higher, higher, oh, I'll take you higher, higher, oh my love. I'll raise my glass, I'll raise my lonely, lonely glass, I'll raise my glass, I'll raise my glass, I'll raise my only lonely glass, I'll raise my glass. Higher, higher, oh, I'll take you higher, higher, oh my love, 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 love. Higher, higher, oh, I'll take you higher, higher, oh my love. Higher, higher, oh, I'll take you higher, higher, oh my love. Higher, higher, oh, I'll take you higher, higher, oh my love.
So that was the Broke Royals with Higher, and now you're going to hear a clip of an interview that we did with Project Mayhem. Just as a reminder, in case you forgot, as you're listening to this streaming file, this is StageCraft trying a little something different with the format. You just heard a little bit of the interview with the Broke Royals and then a song by the Broke Royals. Now you're going to hear a clip of an interview we did with Project Mayhem, and after that you're going to hear a song by Project Mayhem. In this clip, I asked the gentleman to read the description of the band that they wrote up. So here you go.
I was moving them with him, and it was some crazy.
Sounds very
stuff.
avant-garde.
Oh yeah.
Well, we were able to look at each other, so it was just funny.
Yes, exactly.
Like, it would have been terrible and horrific if it was just one of us playing with this drummer.
Yeah. So I have the description from the website.
Pleased to be reading the description of the band.
I'll do a formal reading. Formed by Oscar Grouchy and Kowalski at Kowalski's dad's car dealership. Kowalski is also Dr. Nightmare, by the way. Project Mayhem rose to the top of the heap of a decaying music scene with its flair for classic psychedelic infused rock and roll and country. Their first album, the ingeniously titled masterwork Transcend Your Contempt, made Project Mayhem overnight darlings of the automotive beats set. With their take no prisoners approach to recording and touring, Project Mayhem remains the definitive rock act of the millennium. As stated by one fan, "I've seen a lot of bands play, but I'm going to remember seeing Project Mayhem on my deathbed." Hailed by critics and fans alike as the heroes of rock, Project Mayhem is more than a band, they're the ultimate experience.
That's great.
That's great.
And Barack Obama likes it.
Oh, yeah. We used to have Barack Obama likes it and Oprah raves it's a near-life experience, which comes from the movie Fight Club, which is where the name comes from. Yeah. So,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's StageCraft too, the promotional aspect or how you present yourselves to the public.
Yes.
Even if it's maybe like a sarcastic or sardonic or some kind of like little dark or twisted, right?
And if there's hidden weavings in there, like if we play Lucifer Sam by Pink Floyd and then we do songs that are like Hank Williams songs, so there's some truth to that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Beatles' White Album with all its variety of styles is kind of what we aim at, you know.
Or Primal Scream.
Yeah.
Can you talk about you were sort of indicating that there was a uniting theme between these things, other than just yourselves playing those things. Can you talk about the ties between those things as they exist for you?
Well, a lot of them are the songs I sent you guys were tied together. You know, in a way, there's several different EPs, and then some things are just completely different because you like completely different things. You know, I wrote this song, She Took the Last Train to the Trailer Park, which is just completely off the wall about some girl I knew from Mississippi, and I turned around the chords to a Hank Williams song. So they aren't necessarily, that's why it is like the White Album or like a Primal Scream record, that their things are disjointed as opposed to like Sandinista or
12
Metal
songs
Box.
that sound the same.
You know what I mean?
So what do you want? How do you want the people to connect to your music? In other words, what do you want them to hear?
Sure. I mean, I think, you know, it's the same things that we want. We want to be inspired, you know. We want to help fill up the coffers of inspiration for other people when we play. I mean, one of the things that we talk about is, like, if some kid comes to our show and they want to leave to start a band, that is the ultimate thing that we ever want.
Yeah. So inspiring music in other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
I
in
mean,
younger generations.
Yeah, I did that. We would play Shaw Sleeps in Lee Harvey's Grave and end our shows in this other band I was in, and these kids came up and they said, "We're gonna go start a band now."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And we used to watch a movie called 24 Hour Party People, and that's about the Manchester scene. And there's a scene in that movie where, like, all these guys are watching the Sex Pistols, and it's basically the beginning of the Manchester scene. You know, it's like the guys from Joy Division that were there. Who else was there? Buzzcocks. And so, like, that's the dream for us. If we can put enough out in the world that people are like, we want to start something.
Also, like, I think there's something for everybody. I think, you know, like, I made a couple of EPs and they were just different vibes, and some of it's ambient music, and I like ambient music, and, you know, some of it's sort of rocking Meat Beat Manifesto sort of political music, and I like that, and some of it's more rock music, and I think there's something for everybody, and some people might not like it, but some people might not like Iron Man, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, I think Iron Man's great.
I think you all have the record for the most amount of bands and/or songs mentioned in the shortest amount of time.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had a show that referenced more. You know, I definitely feel the desire, it sounds like, to push people towards not accepting the status quo. Does that sound...
That's fair enough.
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me some understanding as to why. You know, why is that important?
Because it's so bland. I think...
What's bland? Not to...
Taylor
just to
Swift.
clarify.
Quo, I
Taylor
think,
Swift, all that.
I think
Taylor Swift?
Well, I don't know about that.
You know, she's going to be so upset.
I'm sorry.
Dev, can you call her? Because we didn't mean that.
Yeah,
Cancel our tickets.
Get
Cancel
Taylor
our
on the
tickets.
phone.
She's gonna
I've
be
got
regular
people at work.
listener.
I've got people at work
I mean,
that paid $3,000 to see Taylor Swift.
I think
man.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It's like,
Dude, you know what would be great is if we charged $3,000
Yes.
a ticket for our shows, and we
You
could
know?
if we just sold one.
Yeah.
Just
so
sold
there's,
one.
There's this clip of
It
Kurt
only has to
Cobain
work
going
once.
over on Instagram, and they're talking about Madonna, and they're like, Madonna charges $60 a ticket, and it's like, yeah, now people spend $3,000.
Well,
It's more than going to Disneyland.
Is it the artist though, or is it the company?
Like the marketing,
Ticketmaster?
yeah.
What do you call this kind
I
of
saw
companies?
I saw the screen. It was a Ticketmaster screen. $3,000 for the
They
VIP
just gouge,
plus,
yeah, they
plus,
gouge.
plus, and I'm just like, I want to barf.
What do I get with the VIP? Does she like? Do we go to
No.
brunch together?
No, you don't. No.
It's like you get to go have dinner with Paul Stanley if you buy his art.
Oh yeah,
If
we
you-
did that. Yeah, we wanted to go meet Paul Stanley, and now these rock
At the
stars,
mall in
because
Mon-
the
in
way they make
Montgomery
money is they
County.
can make like your band. You just have to split it 5 ways, right?
Sure.
So if you make your paintings, you split it 1 way. So then they're doing this little thing where they go to Tyson's Corner and the Bethesda Mall, and so we went and met Rick Ocasek before he passed. He was. Sorry, he was
Right on,
awesome.
man.
And then we went to Paul Stanley,
Love the
and then it
cars.
was like it's $10,000 to grip and grin with Paul Stanley, and I'm like, okay, we're not
Right,
meeting
exactly.
Paul Stanley.
And I brought a magician tarot card, and he autographed it
Yeah.
with a Sharpie.
He was the
like,
nicest
it's
guy.
magic, you know what I mean?
Did he charge you for it?
No, he was great.
No, he was great.
So we were talking about bland. Everything's bland.
Right, but I mean,
Taylor
I-
Swift's bland.
I
Sorry,
think
Taylor.
everything's sort of
Yeah.
put out by the not to get all political, like
No,
things that are
please
sort
deep
of-
dive. Let's go.
Things that are sort of put out by the establishment is bland. Like if something's just sort of a love song, it's bland. Like if you don't think or remember it,
Yeah.
you know, even like our job is to make you remember the show. You might be like,
Yeah.
that show sucked ass, but I remember those guys.
Yeah. And so that's
Like,
what happened. We had
I
like
was
a,
alive. I
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean
Yeah.
by bland. There's like I've seen a million jillion
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah.
And I don't remember a lot of the shows. And there are some shows that really stand out and were meaningful and inspiring for me, you know, that actually made me do better. Not to name drop again, but like Love and Rockets played 20th Century Boy in 2,000 Light Years from Home at a show, and now we play it.
Yep. And so to keep our shows not boring, we've done different things at different shows. Sometimes we have video, and one show back in 2018, we had a belly dancer with a python snake.
She had two pythons.
Two python snakes. And so, you know, the guy who owned the club, he's like, yeah, I will remember that on my deathbed. And like going back to what we said before about
he's like, you have no idea how many shows I've
Yeah.
seen. And he just wrote the check. He's like, you guys were great.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a good performance and a
Yeah.
good memory is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right, for a good time. I mean, the ideal is looking for the abandonment you get when you watch Pete Townsend play Young Man Blues and the Kids Are All Right, or complete control with the Clash, but, you know, just aspiring towards that. You know what I mean? Aspiring towards making a memory.
Yeah.
So what's kept you in the band for 3 years now? You're the consistent drummer, right?
I think so. I'm here to stay. So,
What's kept you?
Like you hear these guys talking and you're like, yeah, sign me up, right? So, but why?
Will you go or will you stay?
Yeah.
I mean,
Da-na-na-na-na.
but you never know what's next. Like what we're going to work on next. What's the new song? What new song we want to cover? So I think that's definitely what keeps the band interesting,
So
and I think
the
that
variety.
shows up in our performances as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to be challenged. Good to stretch out. Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
And with that kind of wide range of set lists, do you always have like a ton of pedals? Do you try to recreate the tone, or is it more like we get the gist and the spirit
I'll
of
let you
it?
take the pedals.
I do, sort of. So, like, we play Godzilla, and I try to get the echo right.
All right, Blue Oyster Cult for those.
Yeah.
Shout out to the fellas in Project Mayhem for rocking Godzilla. Now, this is not Godzilla. This is Project Mayhem. Again, you can find this release on Bandcamp. This is Project Mayhem with I Don't Mind. So now you're going to hear a clip from the band Massie. Now, Massie, we had them in and we just went straight for it. You know, we started sharing stories about worries and diarrhea and accessibility of venues and gear. And, well, let's just get right to it. Thanks for joining us on this experimental episode of StageCraft. This is Massie, and then afterwards we'll play a Massie tune. Thanks for joining us today. So we'll move that conversation to the end.
Well, I was going to say, for a summary of the worries that everybody has, sounds like some of them.
About that's how we got on.
I was trying to get us circling back. So there's the physical worry, physical ailments, and then we have the mental and emotional. So when you're not right physically, it's going to affect you mentally and emotionally too. And thank you for sharing. Yeah, places do need to be more accessible. I'm constantly thinking about that because whether it's myself or other people that have limitations, you see a lot of these places aren't equipped and could do better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge issue, especially in cities. Like, I mean, venues are certainly not the only place guilty of it, but
venues are dirty too.
Yeah, venues are dirty. They're kind of cesspools for bacteria. I mean, you get people in there excited and sweaty and spitty, and that happens. But also, like, when you're in a city, I know that personally for myself, like, I have had trouble navigating some of the stairwells and things for load-in, and I'm like an able-bodied person. I can't imagine being somebody with like a physical limitation and having to make those treks and do those things. I mean, it puts a whole extra stress layer on something that's already stressful, like putting yourself out there to perform or to go out and socialize and be a part of like a big show. You know, being able to get there is important.
Yeah, you're right. I just did a load-in recently. I had shoes with pretty good grip on them. They were boots, and I had to walk like slowly because there was water on the floor everywhere, and I would have slid. And then you're carrying like super heavy equipment in this tiny little hallway up is like winding staircases. Right. Yeah.
Try it with flip-flops.
Yeah, Don, no. I was sliding with grip boots.
Yeah.
I'm like...
It's the age-old tale of the 810 bass cab down the venue basement stairs or whatever.
Yeah.
No you just lay it down and let gravity do the work.
Yeah. Just send her on down.
That doesn't work on the way up.
Good luck, everybody down there.
Well, I know I think I've said this before, but there was one band that came in at the old location, and they were struggling. 3 guys were struggling with their 810 bass cab, and you know they're difficult. Very difficult.
Absolutely.
And I said to them, well, wait a minute. It's supposed to have wheels in the back. They said, we took them off because they made noise.
Oh. Not great.
Great technology.
Not great.
Sacrifices we make for tone.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah. Oh.
To piggyback on that, I still have this 1x12 Eden cab. It's like scientifically like sized and designed really well. But one thing I guess in QA they missed is that it has 2 speaker output jacks, 1/4-inch holes to plug in speaker cables. And when they're both free, one of them, or if I only use one plug, the other one creates a whistle with certain notes. And and so I plugged it with silicone, just like filled it in. Yeah.
I think
fix
you
the
should
problem.
keep the whistle.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool.
Mic that up, right.
Yeah.
Mic that up. Put a contact mic on there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Adds character.
Okay, we were introducing ourselves.
There's no rush, why? I mean, we've gotten to know each other so well so far. Hey, this is a reminder. You just heard a clip of our interview with Massie, and now you're going to hear a song by Massie. This one is called Once in the Mouth, and it is available on Bandcamp, like all the songs we are playing today. Thanks for joining us on this episode of StageCraft. After this song, we have more interview. I bet you are going to be able to guess who it might be from. It's from the Broke Royals. Spoiler. So that was Massie with Once in the Mouth. And now we're going to get straight into another clip of an interview we did. Well, it's the same interview. It's not like we did multiple interviews. You know what I'm saying. This is another clip from our interview with the Broke Royals. Thanks for being here and enjoying the show with us. If you have feedback on this format, which I'm sure you do, WERA stagecraft@gmail.com. That's WERA stagecraft@gmail.com.
I said that the other day, Don, and you made fun of me. So the other day I told Don.
And I'll make fun of her,
The other
too.
day I told Don, I was like, I feel like I'm the most me when I'm on the show. And he goes, I feel like I'm the most me all the time. I was like, great. Now I have to go to therapy. Yeah, so are you the most comfortable on the stage? Or are you most comfortable? Like, do you feel like more you, less you? What, are you a different character? Are you crazy?
I am wild. No, I'm definitely not the most real version of me, but I feel very focused and kind of like eyes on whatever part of my personality I'm choosing to show in this moment. So it does feel a little bit like a performance, but a very fun one that gives me a lot of energy.
It sounds like you that you enjoy some manner of feeling like you were in control of the moment.
Yes.
Nice.
That's a good way to put it.
Fun, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
fun, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like you get to. It's like I am this character, and this is this part of you that you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say I feel most me. There's sometimes where like we'll be with a group of friends and maybe I'll do one of those tags, like a little joke, and people will laugh, and then Philip will like lock eyes with me and like wink at me and be like, yo, bud, good job, you did it. And I was like, I think that's probably when I feel most like you saw this.
No,
That's pretty sexy.
Thank you, Philip and Rebecca. We loved having you. We are going to release even more clips of the interview that we did with the Broke Royals in the next few days, interspersed with some other great clips from interviews that we have done. And this is also a good time to remind you, if you are interested in seeing StageCraft live, you got to come on down to the November 15th show at the Filling Station /El Rey in Ballston Exchange. Now, let's get to the next song. This is the Broke Royals with Cold. Oh, also, it's available on Bandcamp.
When you wake up, do you still see her face? Do you toss and you turn like the will of the world is replaced? 'Cause it's colder now than it's ever been, and you're holding on to what's left of him. And I know you're here, but oh so far away.
That was the Broke Royals with Cold, available on Bandcamp. Now, let's play our next clip of an interview we did with Project Mayhem. Let's get to it, and then afterwards, stick around. Well, I don't know where else you would go, but stick around because we're going to play a song by Project Mayhem. This is StageCraft, by the way.
With anything that you've learned before.
I agree, and I think something that we challenges us is that we have such a huge set list of songs that I think depending upon, you know, people who are in relationships with jobs and they show up, it's like, oh my God, we got to play through all the songs, right? Rather than us actually, what's good about gigs is focusing on a set list and saying like, okay, we're going to own this, you know, and then we can do some of what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. How big is your set list?
Oh my God.
We have at least 3 hours of music that we could play.
That's great.
Yeah, because that's how it is. They book you for a night.
Yeah, so
they don't book you with a group of people anymore.
So we kind of approach it differently based on the show. So we did Quarry House early in the summer. That was almost all originals with like 2 covers. And then we did Pearl Street like about a month ago, and we were working with some friends of ours, A Night to Forget. They're awesome, by the way. And Kathy DeTuro from the Leg Warmers. And they're cover bands, so they were kind of covering us in terms of the business because we're trying to break through with original music in the DC scene. So we did a mix of covers and originals for that. But we spent like 2 months just focusing on one set list of 45 minutes because one of the things that, you know, we've been very loose, we've been very punk rock, but we're trying to make that turn from the basements, from like the Pinch up to more clubs, so we're a little bit more tighter as we do.
And then you've got to establish your goals because with that kind of audience, they want to hear should I stay or should I go or Suffragette City or whatever it is, and then, you know, but on some level you want to put your own original stuff out there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. You know, don't lean on me, man. Because you can't afford that ticket.
That's right. Lean on me, man.
How do you work covers in?
Sometimes they're so obscure people don't know they're...
True. Very true.
That can happen, if you put your own spin on it.
Yeah,
so right, I mean, if we're doing Coup d'etat, we played Coup d'etat at the last show. I don't think anyone out there knew it was Coup d'etat. They knew at Quarry House it was Coup d'etat.
Who's
but
the
I don't
artist
think...
for that?
Circle Jerks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See,
and
I'd
so
have to hear
even when we play the Ramones, we don't play Blitzkrieg pop. We play.
Thank you, Project Mayhem, for all your wise words. And even though you badmouth Taylor Swift, will forgive you because you were such nice boys. Let's get to the next song. This one is called Idiocracy. It's available on Bandcamp, and it's by, you guessed it, Project Mayhem.
Idiocracy. Idiocracy is the name of this game. Tune in and log out. Election time. Fan the flames. Idiocracy. Idiocracy is the name of this game. When the politicians succumb to temptation, it can only lead us to revelation. When the politicians succumb to temptation, it can only lead us to revelation. To the vault. My God. With the government. Vault. To the vault. Of the government. With the government. Vault.
It was Project Mayhem with Idiocracy. Now let's wrap this mother up with another clip of our interview with Massie. Wait, did I say Massie? Did I get the name of the band wrong? Well, we could rewind it and figure it out. But the last song you just heard was Idiocracy by Project Mayhem. Now what you're going to hear is another clip of our interview with Massie, and we're going to talk about IBS and things we worry about, and afterwards you're going to hear another song by Massie, and it's called Big Red.
Special experience.
Has anyone? Have you ever been to a psychic?
We have a funny. It's funny you should ask because we had a celebration over the weekend. We celebrated by going to the Renaissance Festival. And Sam and I are both old hands at Renfest, but it was Will's first time. But we ended up going to a tarot reader and having all of our cards read. And that was a unique experience.
Oh, yes, it was.
Both Sam and Will had like glowing readings. And then I think I was the most afraid. I've never wanted to get it done for fear that I would learn something I did not want to know.
Oh.
And that's exactly what happened.
What? Would you share the? Would you share the?
What did you Actually,
learn?
you know what? I'm being a little bit dramatic. It wasn't as doom and gloom. I was thinking like, you know, day, month, second, this is how you die kind of thing. But it was basically just like, they were like, oh, riches are coming your way. You're done growing, so don't worry about that.
You have no more lessons.
For Sam,
Yeah, you're morally astute.
Wilfredo!
Hello. Yeah, Will.
Coming to the soundstage.
I got my first and only tarot reading.
Yes.
Hello there.
That's the card she pulled. I'm like, oh,
on
I'm
your-
out. I'm done.
Number one, death.
Thanks.
That's a big
Thanks
grim.
very
First
much.
of all,
had
He
a
goes,
funny-
it's not as bad as
thought
it
you were doing
sounds. I
some
was
sort
like,
of
never
avant-garde
mind.
thing.
I had a funny moment too where all my cards were so grim, and then at the
thought it
end
was
she
an
was like, "These are
avant-garde
like your most
experiment.
important cards," and she pulls one. She goes, "The warrior," and I was like, "Oh, the warrior. That's
must be
great.
good,
It must be
right?
good." And she said, "Oh no, honey, the worrier." Not the warrior. The worrier.
Crap.
I think it's the same thing.
very scared.
That's right.
Anxiety to the rescue.
It's a tough cross to bear, being the warrior.
So you are
Someone's
the
got to do
warrior?
it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What's let's do we sometimes we do a little therapy here. Can you give us a little dive into what worries you? What are you worried about?
Unlicensed
Answering
therapy.
that question worries me.
Answering that question worries you?
I said answering that question worries me.
Well, yeah. Well, I think we can all share a worry that we
Yeah.
have.
I'll go last.
Oh, okay. Well, who wants to start?
I worry
Freya, would
about
you like to start?
bugs.
What do you worry about?
So let's see. I worry about the next big hurdle. I'm like one major car accident or medical bill away from ruin, as most people.
Yes.
But I guess in general, like I would like things to be cool. I would like everyone to be cool. I'd like like logos to prevail over pathos and all that. So yeah, like I just pray for level-headed leadership and populace.
Wow.
Next, hot potato.
About that.
Yeah, I know, right? That's why I worry so.
Yeah, on the right side of the refrigerator, there's a switch. Cricket that.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were talking about the fan. We were trying to figure out how to turn the
Oh,
fan
there we
on.
go.
It's working.
Don, it is our biggest
biggest
fan.
fans.
Don, what do you worry about, buddy?
I worry about reincarnation.
What? You don't want to be reincarnated?
I don't
do
want
you?
to be reincarnated.
I know you worry about
I
that.
just
You've
want to
said
go
it
out
before.
and, I want to be in the soil, out, whatever.
You're over
Scatter
it.
in the- yeah.
You've seen it all.
I want to go.
Yeah, I don't need another one.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
It's like a 50-50
It sucks.
though.
I mean, who wants to be around again?
Aren't you curious?
Again?
Like what it'll be the next time around?
No.
Yeah.
No curiosity.
How
No
about,
curiosity.
how about yourself? Worry? Do you have a worry?
Oh, I have. Yeah, there are plenty. Most pressingly, I think, is diarrhea.
Oh,
It's always.
bad.
it is the number
Yeah.
one killer in worldwide, I believe.
Cha cha cha.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I just.
It's a
I,
constant
I
specter.
hope you work it
Yeah.
all out.
And then the ancient
I
world.
think
as
about
well.
it a lot. Yeah. No, I've been struck with about before many a gig, before many a shift. It plagues my life a little bit, and it's kind of always sitting in the back of my mind. Will it strike, or will it leave me be for the time being?
If you can you stop and sort of take care of it for 10 minutes, or is it no, you must push on?
It depends on the time. I am very lucky to work in a place where people step in to help me out. I have IBS. This is a chronic issue. But we got people to watch the posts. The biggest thing is I think it is partially stress induced. So I never feel tangibly nervous before a show because my bowels are handling that for me. So usually it's just about 4 minutes before the set, I'm like, oh, this feels urgent. And usually I can push through usually. We had a show in Philly though where I was
out for a little while.
Yeah, I was in the bathroom for both of the openers, and I had my ear up against the door because I was like, please, I would like to listen to these bands we're with. They're very cool. We selected
Now,
them to play with.
Yeah.
To turn, not that every moment has to be turned into something to be learned, but in the spirit of making some lemonade out of lemons. What is something like venues could do to be more friendly towards people who have IBS? Because that seems like something that people deal with. I have friends who have IBS.
They can't really, can they? Or
They can
what
have
could a venue
working
do?
locks on their bathroom doors.
Locks on the bathroom
Working
doors.
locks.
Thank you, Massie, for being on the show. It was such a huge amount of fun, and they were down for whatever conversation. They were willing to just talk about anything, even though, when you go on the back of someone's porch and immediately go into things that you worry about, it's not an easy conversation to have, but they were totally game, and that was just rad. This is another song by Massie, and it's called Big Red. And we are so glad that you joined us here on StageCraft. If you have feedback on this new format that we're going to be trying out for the next 3 episodes, WERA stagecraft@gmail.com. That's WERA stagecraft@gmail.com. Thanks so much. Bye.
Wasted muscle tape, hot and trendy, and it's on your leg. Smash your strawberries, I know your bed is fake.